going to share my screen. Okay, I think you're able to see my screen now. Okay, as Mayur mentioned, we're going to talk about incident communication, which is something key throughout the incident lifecycle. We've recently launched status pages native to Jira Service Management, and along with that, we've launched a few additional capabilities around sending emails, sending targeted communications to stakeholders, and AI-powered updates in JSM along with stakeholder suggestions. Today in the agenda, we'll cover everything that's new that we've introduced. We'll talk about how all of these capabilities fit into the unified incident workflow. A lot of you will have questions on what is the difference between our standalone status page app versus the new stakeholder communications capabilities we're building in JSM. So we'll try to cover the confusion around that. And lastly, we'll dive into a live demo on how to use status pages along with all the other key capabilities we've released so that you get to see the hands-on experience and the right process that customers can follow for their own incident communication lifecycle in Jira Service Management. Okay, so today we know that there is a lot of context switching that happens when there is an active incident. There are multiple stakeholders involved, right from your major incident manager, your responders, your internal exec op teams, your external stakeholders, which might be your end customers. And essentially, all we need to do is that ensure that these people stay informed about the progress, but that is not as simple as it is said. There are multiple channels that stakeholder use, there are multiple stakeholders that is involved. So how essentially are we bridging the communication gap is what we'll be talking about today. We know that Jira Service Management and many other ITSM tools have evolved in the past from fragmented chaos to a unified solution. Essentially, before people used to send out manual emails, they used to manage DLs on emails and ensure that everyone has been looped in. There were disconnected tools where people used to jump from their ops tools to another standalone tool or their email inbox or their chat tools and ensure that they're sending out comms as and when some update is happening on the incident. People also didn't know who all need to be involved, and these were the chaotic moments during the incident lifecycle that used to happen. But now in Jira Service Management and the enhanced capabilities, we're essentially trying to solve all of this chaos and build a uniform stakeholder management solution, have everything in a unified platform, and ensure that all of these are just not manual. You have Rovo assisting you in all of these life cycles just so that you're accelerating your response and improving your time to communicate during an incident life cycle. Now, if I were to say what does that mean as part of the incident flow, here is a quick overview of how we deal with stakeholder comms in the incident lifecycle. So, as and when an incident is detected, this could be done via automation, this could be done via your alerts incoming into your JSM operations, and you're using automation to create an incident. You can also now automatically add relevant stakeholders and stakeholder groups into an incident based on incident triggers. For example, when an incident is P2, when affected service equals payment service, then you can add corresponding teams, corresponding groups, and corresponding agents to ensure that you're dealing away with who to notify and when to notify, and you're streamlining that flow. Then we also have AI powered incident summary and title generation. So now people don't have to think about what should I write on the status page update? Am I covering everything? Rovo helps you analyze what to send based on the communications that are happening on the incident and the details that are present on the incident. You're able to draft and update a status page on the go. That ensures that towards the end, whoever subscribed to the status page gets the notification timely. Things are automated, there is no manual intervention, and you're just ensuring that your time to communicate accelerates and every end stakeholder is kept informed with just a simple channel that is available inside your Jira Service Management. Now you must have this question, what are the capabilities and how do they span across our service collection? As I mentioned, there are five key capabilities that we've launched. First is stakeholder management and enhanced stakeholder groups. These are available across both premium and enterprise plans. We also have AI stakeholder suggestions to ensure that you're not leaving out any stakeholders while the incident is ongoing. These are also available across both the plans. We've launched email templates where you can create templates of what type of emails to be sent to stakeholders. These are also available across both premium and enterprise. Then we have native status pages and auto drafting of status pages. These two key capabilities are available only in the enterprise collection. I am just going to take a pause here and see if there are any questions for me.
I don't think so. There is anything in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we'll move on to one of the key questions that some of you might be having. When to use the standalone status page app versus when to use the Jira Service Management powered status pages. Now, if you're someone who manages and operations outside of Jira Service Management, you can look to purchase the standalone application because, like I mentioned, the native status pages are bundled with Jira Service Management and Service Collection. So, till the time you don't purchase that, you will not have access to the native status pages. If you do use Jira Service Management but are on lower tier plans, you can use the standalone status page app to ensure that you're able to integrate your status pages using the marketplace app and enable your incident comms to the native standalone status page. Today, we have just launched public status pages in Jira Service Management, and we aim to extend that to private status pages. However, if you are someone who has a key use case of even audience specific pages, you can look to even buy the standalone status page app to ensure that you're immediately doing communications across all the three types of pages based on your use case. Now, when should we use the Jira Service Management native status pages? If you manage all your incident and operations within JSM and are on the enterprise plan, we recommend you use the native status pages because it ensures that there's a single source of truth. You're not duplicating any configurations. You're able to easily manage all things operations related in a single tool. So it removes the context switching, it removes the duplicate configuration, and it ensures that there's a single source of truth maintained at all times. Secondly, if you're a new customer who's looking to evaluate either a status page sort of a channel or you're looking to evaluate your incident management tool, we recommend you use and look at Service Collection Enterprise. This is because you just get one tool to do everything rather than buying separate apps to do separate activities and doing the configurations, having separate admins, giving more load to the whole management aspect of it. So these are the key differences between the standalone status page app and the Jira Service Management native status pages. With that, we're now going to enter the live demo, and I'm going to give you an overview of all the 5 capabilities that we've discussed. I'm just going to exit the presentation mode. Let me know if you're able to see the screen with stakeholder groups. Mayur, if you can give me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we have a new entry point under operations where we have communications and status pages. In communications, we have stakeholder user management today. You can add individual stakeholders or you can create a group of stakeholders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a group right now, which is demo community session. I'm going to select members. I can add either stakeholders or I can add individual JSM agents as well. So I'm just going to add both my emails here and both users here. You can use groups where essentially you have a predefined set of people you always want to notify. To give an example of a use case, in organizations, people have exec ops groups where they want to ensure that they're informed. People have groups for privacy and legal teams when they want to involve them in an incident. They have groups for different teams where there are interdependencies between the services that are shared. So you can create stakeholder groups for those people or directly use the Atlassian teams in your incident stakeholder. So you can do either ways, whichever meets your use case, but groups essentially help consolidate and move away from those DLs and the email management over to a streamlined stakeholder group that you can continue reusing, and that updates even when someone leaves the organization, isn't part of a stakeholder license anymore, and so on. When you're creating a group, you can also connect them to services. This ensures that you don't have to do context switching between your services, and you are just adding them right from this screen once and for all. So I'm going to create this group here. The stakeholder group has been created successfully. I can see the information of who it's created by, the members, which service it's mapped to. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an automation rule wherein this group gets added as a stakeholder in an incident based on certain triggers. Before I move into the automation rule, any questions on stakeholder user management?
I see there are two, three questions.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, are stakeholder JSM licensed or customers? Like the stakeholders or a customer will be charged for that. Basically, the
No,
question is.
no. So stakeholders are not charged today, and they're not even given access to the JSM license. You can add up to 5,000 stakeholders per JSM site, across both your premium and enterprise plans. And essentially, you can add any of these people. They will be given a separate role, which is a stakeholder license.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow the this question. Yes, Nikhil, this we are recording this session, so we'll be sharing with you, or we'll be also uploading to the YouTube channel. I'll share the link. Yeah, how do we native? The next question, Diksha, how do native status pages in JSM reduce incident communication overhead compared to third-party tools?
Yeah, I will just get to that when I demo it. So that
Okay,
question will be answered pretty shortly once I demo the whole flow. And you'll
okay,
see it's pretty seamless, with the way it's integrated into the work item incidents, and you don't have to do any context switching.
understood. I don't see this option on my side under operation. Do have to activate it?
It just ensure you're on a premium or enterprise plan, and you should be able to see communication. If not, I would request you to please raise a support ticket so we can just evaluate.
Perfect. I think yeah, you can go ahead with the presentation.
Okay, I am just going to create a rule from scratch. Uh, Work item created. Just give me a second. Maybe I'll just do work item edited. Add a condition. I'm just going to do a simple version of this, but you can update the conditions as an on the automation rule based on your use case, depending on the incident process that is followed in your organization. So I'm just going to use a very simple one. Let me just check a table. Okay. So what we've added is, in the actions, we have a add stakeholder to an incident. So here I can add individual users, or I can add the group that I created over to the incident based on the triggers that I've done. So this is a simple rule that I'm creating right now. This is just to highlight the new capability of adding stakeholders to an incident, which is now available. And the use case is completely dependent on customers based on, for let's say sev 0 incidents, what are the triggers that they need to ensure that xyz stakeholders are added to that incident. Okay, I'm just gonna name this, and I'm gonna turn on the rule. In addition to this, I also wanted to highlight the email templates that we spoke about. So under Jira Apps, settings Jira Apps, you will see incident management under JSM. Here we have email templates available. I'm just going to open an existing template and just show it to you. In the template, you can name the template in a certain manner. You can add the sender name. You can upload header images if you want. So I am just gonna give a header image. With the header image, you can even add the dynamic fields. So this will be the body of the email. It will automatically pick the fields that are there in the incident. And I'm also just going to show you how the email shows up. I'm going to save this template. Any questions on automation or email templates before I move into the actual execution? All of these are just your peacetime activities that admins will do to ensure the configurations are all set up and ready for when an incident actually happens. So I'm going to cover them one by one. I will do all the configurations and then I'm going to show you everything in action. Mayur, any questions? Otherwise, I'll move on to creation of a status page.
I don't think so. There are any. We
Okay.
can move on.
Okay. So what all quick recap, we've seen stakeholder user management, we've seen the automation rule, and we've seen email templates. Now I'm also going to configure a status page so that all of these are ready for me to use while I am actually delving deep into an incident. So under operations, we will have status pages. One key call out is status pages and even communications are accessible by Jira admins. Stakeholders and stakeholder groups are visible by operations global admins as well. However, they cannot take any edit actions. This is because both of these capabilities involve something that spans across the site. So we ensure that there are the right roles and permissions to create, update, and delete these. So only if you're a Jira admin, you would be able to take any form of create, update, or delete actions on the status pages as well as the stakeholder user management. Here is all the list of status pages that get created. You'll be able to see. You'll be able to see the components of the services map. You'll be able to see the number of subscribers. You'll be able to see the uptime health. You'll be able to see individual health of the overall page. And you'll be able to see the status. Essentially a page as in when you create it. So right now I'm entering into the creation phase. We are coming up with private pages soon as well. And post this meeting, I'll also share an early access program link for that in case any of you are interested. Right now, we are rolling out public pages to all enterprise licenses. So this is something that is available. When I click on create a page, I'm just going to add the name. There will be a default URL that gets recommended. There is an option to even create a custom URL, which I'm going to showcase. Once I click on this create, a draft version of the page is created. So this is the first state that the page is in. And to make this page live, I will have to publish the page to ensure that the page is live. I'm going to add some description if I want to. I can check the time zone here. This time zone essentially means the time zone in which all the updates are going to go to the status page. So if you're a company that essentially deals with customers in India time zone, you can select the time zone as IST to ensure that you're having the capabilities showcased in the India time zone. So these are the key details that you factor in. Then we come to setting up components in the page. One key thing that we were talking about is maintaining a single source of truth. We link the components to your Jira service registry. So here we have the display name of a payment component. I am going to map this to an existing service in my Jira service registry. This ensures that when I'm adding this service to an incident, I will know the type of page and the type of component to update and the status of the component to update based on the affected components in the incident. This is what we mean by a single source of truth and having a good link between your status page as well as JSM. You don't have to create duplicate components in a standalone app. You reuse what is already there in your existing ITSM tool. You can create components, or you can even create component groups. So I'm just going to even create a component group. And let me just add. So here I'm creating a component group, and I'll just show you what that means. I'm going to select a service. I'm going to select a service here as well. And you can see all of these updates live on the preview. So here I have an individual component, and here I have a component group, which essentially contains two other child components. One is the credit card component, and one is the debit card component. So this is the difference between an individual component versus a component group. Next, I'm going to go on to appearance. You have two ways of updating the appearance. Either you can do it via the form that we provide, or we also have the capability to update via custom CSS, HTML for your headers and footers. So you have the capability to do both and be as flexible as you want with your status pages. I'm just, for demo purposes, going to use a simple one here. So I'm going to update the logo. I'm just going to give a title to the page. I am going to update the cover image as well. I can also add a favicon if I want. And you're going to see like all of these updating live in the preview as you're doing that. I'm going to add a contact support. And let me just say, I can add more links if I want to the top of the button here if needed. In the display setting, we have two formats, either a detail card or you only want to show the status. It depends on how minimal you want your page to be or how detailed you want your page to be. You can choose between display, bars, or text, and we have a fixed uptime range of 90 days that we show for the incident. You have two formats. You can either do a table format like this, where you have a clearer view of the components, or you can do a card format as well, where each of the components is a card. So you're able to play around with all of these depending on your use case. Then we have some supporting links. So you can just put like a demo footer text that will come here. You can have a footer logo as well. I'm just going to add the same logo to just showcase how this works. You can add a copyright text if you want. Many customers do this as part of their branding. You can add links for terms and conditions if needed. You can add links for privacy as well as legal, any Twitter links that you want. So you're able to do all of these, and these showcase here in a predefined format. You can update the positioning of any of these via custom CSS or HTML. Then we also have color updation. So you can update the color schemes if you want. You in your organization don't use this for operational, you don't use orange for partial outage, you can update it if needed. I'm going to keep everything as is. In advanced settings, we already give you some predefined default templates for communications. And here we have the custom URL that you can configure for your page, which will be available once we publish the page. So now I'm just going to go ahead, save this draft, and I'm going to publish the page. once the page is successfully published, the URL is live. So let's go ahead and look at how the page looks. So this is the page that I created. I have the subscribe to updates via emails and webhooks, so customers can do that. And I'll also just subscribe via email to show you how the notifications look like. We also have capture to ensure that there are no spam issues while people are subscribing. And I'm also just going to go ahead and check my email to see if I have received the confirmation. So while the confirmation is coming, just want to give you a quick overview. The detail page consists of the overview tab. You will start seeing the activity of incidents posted on the page, and you will start seeing the subscriber list. You will see the channel filters of emails or webhooks, and you will also see the status filters of active, pending verification, or unsubscribe. As you can see that I have just subscribed to this and it's pending verification. Let me just quickly refresh this to see why it's in the loading state. Yeah. So here I can see that I subscribed and all of the status and the details are here. I can remove a subscriber and do the subscriber management if needed. So I'm just going to quickly refresh to check. I think it might be in spam or something. Okay, while the subscription is coming, we will just move ahead. Any questions so far on this, on the page creation, page management, and everything? Um, uh, any questions?
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I see a couple of questions actually. Let me just go through that. Does Net Jira Service Management allow multiple status pages with different visibility settings, that is public and private? Also, there are any plan-based limitations on the multiple of pages to be created?
So we do allow multiple pages, like I was mentioning. Right now, we are generally available with public pages. By September, we're targeting to release private pages, and we're also looking at an early access program in the next quarter for private pages. So in a JSM site, you can create any number of public and private pages. However, there is a limit of 10,000 subscribers per JSM site. So that means if I have 20 pages, either public or private, I have a limit of the sum total of subscriber count to be under 10,000 per site.
You can create status pages, services, and the stakeholders.
It is under operations and status pages.
Now, basically, the admin will create, right?
The Jira admin, yes, the
Okay.
Jira admin can create status pages.
Okay. The next question is, what is the difference between setting the status pages and setting up notification on the JSM customer portal banner?
Status pages are very different than your JSM customer portal. Today, we are not linking the status pages to the portal, how your standalone app today links to your portal. For example, let me just see if I'm able to showcase that. Okay, give me a second. So today, let me see if it's there in any of, just give me a second, okay? I want to just see if I can showcase the portal part. Yeah. Today, the standalone status page app, you can connect to a portal. However, we are working on the capability to even connect your native JSM status pages to a portal. This is very different than portal notifications, because in a status page, if it's public, anyone can subscribe to it. The portal should only be used as a source of truth or as a touch point where you want to see, okay, before raising a request, is there an incident that's already posted which might be impacting me? So that's the difference between the portal versus the status page.
Okay. And the next question is, can it be edited in future? Prakash, if you can give us the more context, are you talking about the pages that is edited in the future, or anything that you want to add? I think mostly talking about the pages is only. Can it be edited in the future?
Did you mean deleted?
Edited, like.
Edited, yes, yes, you can edit the page at any given time. So I'll just show you. Um, I'm just gonna open our page. Okay, I can click here. I can edit, I can unpublish, and I can even archive the page. I can do any of these. When I click on edit the page, I can change anything. I can add a component. I can change the appearance. I can do anything that I want.
Yeah, I think we're good to go ahead then.
I just want to do one thing. I think we forgot to just save the component, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Okay, give me a second. Edit, add component. So whenever we're adding components, we just need to ensure we're saving the components as well.
I see again 3 questions on the same topic.
Yeah.
Can you just explain about the advanced setting options in the pages?
Yep, I'll just show that. Give me a second. Okay, so in advanced settings, we have the default templates. These are your templates when you're sending an update, and these are provided by us. In the future, we will be looking to have even custom templates that you can create. That's where you'll be able to make use of custom templates in your pages. Then we have the custom domain configuration. Suppose the default URL for the page today is the page name .status.atlassian.com. However, there are customers who want branded pages like company name @status.com. So you can create those with the help of custom URL configurations. So this is everything about the advanced setting. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Then we have, is there a native mechanism to migrate from something like a PagerDuty to JSM, like for team schedules, services, teams, etc.?
You can reach out to our sales or support team, and they should be able to help you with the best way to move all your operations data over to JSM from PagerDuty. There are customers who have done this in the past, so yes.
Perfect. And one more question: is the status pages feature in Jira Service Management currently in a beta, or it is fully released?
It is fully released. We are gradually rolling out to certain percentages, and by the second week of March, you should expect these capabilities to show in all enterprise customers.
Okay. We have one more question: will customer get the automatic updates?
Yes, if they have subscribed to it and their subscription is successful, they will get automatic updates.
We're done with the questions again.
Okay. I will just go ahead. Give me a second. Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and now just show you things in action. Okay. So I have already created an incident. Let me just check the incident. Give me a second. Okay, I'm just gonna update this. Okay, now we'll go step by step. I will first update the label here in the incident, and I'm going to add automation. Okay. I'm also just going to showcase you the capability of suggesting stakeholders that we have. So Rovo is able to suggest stakeholders based on past similar incidents. So while you're doing things on the go, you know that these are the possible people you should add based on past similar incidents that are there. I'm also going to refresh to see if our automation rule ran. Let me just go to the system just to ensure I haven't. Okay, seems like there's some config change. I hope I have saved the rule. Oh, I think I did when a work item comment is edited. So just give me a second. I'm gonna update this work item edited. I'm gonna use some other one. Hi. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the incident. And I am just gonna go here. And I'm just gonna add hi. We will just refresh this. And let's also check. Yep. We can see that the automation rule added the stakeholder successfully. Now, when I'm going to notify stakeholders here, I will pick the template that I had. Here I can see the cover image, everything that has been added. I am just going to send the email. And we will just wait to see the email as well. Give me a second. I'm just going to refresh. So here we have the incident update because I was a stakeholder added. I can see the email and it has picked the dynamic fields that were there from the incident. Because we didn't have the impact fields filled, that's why it's blank. But this essentially is just to showcase you're able to send the email comms tailored as per your need to the stakeholders that are targeted in your incident. Now I'm going to talk about how, and the question that was asked, what is the benefit? Under the incidents, we will have a status page update. You can click on add a status page. We will pick up our demo community event status page. Here, I'm going to select the incident impact as minor. The initial incident status is the incident notification status that I want to send. There are default templates available. So for example, if you want to use these default templates, you can use the default templates, else you can discard the templates as well. Title and message are auto-generated using Rovo. So you can accept or discard the title if needed. Similarly, even the message factors in all the description, the data fields, and suggests you a message. So I'm going to update the status page message as this. When I come to components, I see the two components that I created as per the page. I'm going to mark payment as a degraded performance, and I'm going to keep cart settings as operational. Based on this, I see all of my configurations are good to go. I'm going to click on send an update. Once you click on send an update, you see the incident update has been sent. I can go to the status page now, and I will see that incident has been posted here on the status page. I see payment has been marked as degraded performance. I can click on the incident and I can find out more details of the impacted components and the updates that are being posted. Similarly, on the go, I can keep sending new updates. And this is the difference between the standalone versus native status pages, where you're able to pick everything from the incident lifecycle. You're able to relate your components as well as affected services on the incident and send comms as per your need, and you don't have to create duplicate configurations or have different touch points and do context switching. So this is the benefit of using native status pages in Jira Service Management rather than any out-of-the-box tool. I will take a pause if there are any questions, and that brings me to the end of the demo that I had for you guys.
Perfect. I see two questions. One is the primary use case for the status process you demonstrated is during a major incident or outages. Whenever an outage occurs within the organization, we can record the details on in this status page and
Correct.
communicate updates to all the impacted stakeholders TL.
Correct.
Basically, his understanding is correct, or
Yes, yes, this is totally correct. And it's not necessarily for a major incident. Depending on organizations, right? In Atlassian, we also report 7 incidents on status page. It just depends on the transparency organizations want with their end customers. So it is totally an organization's call on what type of incidents to be posted to the status page. Be it major, be it SEV1, be it even SEV2 with a high impact. You can send any form of updates to the status page.
okay. What will happen if any stakeholder replies to that notification email?
The notification emails are no reply. So there is no replies on any of these sender addresses.
Okay. Okay, we have one more question. How does proactive communication impact customer trust during a major incident?
It impacts them heavily. So it doesn't just impact the customers, it also impacts the trust that they have. For example, let's take the recent Cloudflare issue, right? If any of us use Cloudflare, we would be raising support tickets on Cloudflare saying, oh, this is not working, this is not working. We'll be bombarding their support tickets. We'll be frustrated that no one is answering any of our questions. Versus if Cloudflare used status page and the moment they identified the incident, they posted an update to the status page where we were subscribers and we got notified. That ensures that, okay, I can inform internally in my organization that there is an ongoing incident. Employees don't need to panic because Cloudflare is not accessible, and the ETA that the Cloudflare team has communicated is in the next 1 hour or in the next 30 minutes for the next update. So ensuring these transparent communications reduces the chaos on the customer side. It ensures that they internally are doing good communications and reducing the panic of systems being down, and it builds trust with the third party.
All right, we have a couple more questions. Can the stakeholder sender be a custom email like company domain? What we have sent the email, right? Can it be have the custom domain basically?
For now, we don't support custom domains, but if this is something that is a frequent need, please feel free to raise a feature request so our team can evaluate this.
Okay. What happens to historical incident updates on the status page once an incident is resolved?
They all start showing in the history tab. So they are maintained for 90 days, and you can see all the history here. For example, I can just go ahead and mark this incident as resolved. Okay, I'm just going to go to components. I'm going to mark this as operational, send the update. Okay, I'm just going to go back to the live status. I see everything is fully operational. I'm going to go to history and I will see that this was the incident. I can click on the detailed history and see what were the two updates that went and which was the impacted component. So you will be able to see transparent history in the history tab. And one thing I also just wanted to showcase, when I go to the active section, I'll be able to see this. I'll be able to see which related incident it was posted from. This is also one of the key differences between native status pages versus any other out-of-the-box solution that you use. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yes. Yeah, so we have a question from Akash. The current limit for sending outage notification to target audience is up to 10,000 recipients. Is there any plan to increase the limit? Example, organization having over 40,000 user base, right? So this restriction significantly reduces the unusefulness of the process.
If there are use cases for increased limits, feel free to raise a ticket with the support team and we will evaluate it. We started off with 10,000 because we see a majority of the use cases coming within this limit and it helps ensure our systems are scaling in the right way. But if there are additional edge use cases like yours, feel free to raise it with the support team and we will evaluate it as and when the requests come in.
Now we have the next question. Is status is available even the Jira Cloud is not available? So what is meant to ask for the Jira software, I believe?
This is just available on Service Collection Cloud. It's not available on-prem.
Is the status space feature is currently only on beta version? When can we expect for the release?
This is not in beta. It is being generally rolled out as we speak. So you can expect to see it in your instance latest by the second week of March.
What are the security and access control mechanism?
Yes, good question. Just a few things I wanted to also highlight. All in terms of like ensuring audit logs and everything, we have logs for each of the activities you're taking, updating an incident, publishing a page, saving a draft, deleting. So all logs are maintained. With respect to security, if you are creating a custom domain, we are essentially requiring you to use your own DNS configurations to ensure that they are taken care of on your side of the system configurations. Because it's a public page, we don't use or store any data, so you're free to monitor the page as per your need. If there are any particular security concerns, do let me know, but these are the key callouts we've kept just to ensure that the pages don't render into any issues. And for spam control, we also have CAPTCHA scores maintained for the subscription to avoid subscriber spamming.
Perfect. What is the best practices to keeping the status pages updates clear and consistent during high pressure and high volume incidents?
So like I was mentioning, that these are processes followed in your organization. The best thing you can do is we're also working on certain automation rules that can help you post an update to a status page without any manual intervention, if that's a customer's use case. But generally, the key thing is as and when you define certain incident triggers, for example, incident is marked as major or incident severity reaches SEV 1, all your incident managers should be able to identify these and send comms as and when these triggers are set. When you are connecting your Slack or your MS Teams channel to the incident, you can also automate and send updates to the channels as and when any of these criteria are met to ensure that the responders or the incident manager is sending out status page updates. So these will act as reminders. You can also send reminders on the incident via automation. So for every incident, you can comment on the incident with these conditions via automation, that reminder to send a status page update as the incident has been marked as major. These just ensure that you're constantly sending out updates based on the triggers you've identified in your incident.
We have 2 more questions. Yeah. Is there any native automation in place for post-incident review?
Yes, so you can create a post-incident review from automation. Just one second. Work item. Comment. So you can choose the status. You can do a create PIR, and you can even create a PIR using Rovo, where Rovo will automatically create your post-incident review based on the incident. So this is a way to automate and run. I just want to show you one thing quickly while this is loading. Give me a second. Right from the incident itself, we have a add a PIR, and in the PIR, we have a suggest description option where Robo will automatically suggest you the PIR to create. This is the same thing that will run via auto, so you can use either of these to create a PIR. Yeah. Any other questions, Mayur?
Yes, sorry for the keep asking. That's fine. I mean, Prakash, if you're asking a multiple question, that's how we can, like extract the information from Diksha's mind and from the tool. So that's fine. Are status pages logically embedded within a JSM or powered by components of status page?
Can you repeat that question, Mayur?
Yeah. Are status pages logically embedded within a JSM or powered by components of a status page?
They're not embedded, they are just like a feature. So it's just like creating a work item. You will create status pages in your JSM instance, and these are linked to your site. So this is my site. All the status pages that I create are linked to these sites. So it's not like I'm embedding anything, it's just a mapping between the site and the status page, is very similar to portals and JSM site.
Okay. One more question. If multiple teams are working on the same incident, how do we avoid conflicting updates on the status page?
As you saw, when the status page update is posted, you'll be able to see them in the logs here. So whenever someone is sending a fresh update, they will have a clear view of which updates were sent, when they were sent, and what is the message that was posted.
I don't think so. We have any question? Yeah, last 5 minutes for any questions you guys have. You can also come on.
I just
unmute yourself and then please.
Mayur, I just wanted to share one more quick thing after the demo. I'll just share my screen. There are a few resources that we have. We have the demo video of how to create a status page. We have the support articles, and we have the community post which details all of this. I have the QR codes right here. Feel free to scan them and take a link of all of these. That'll help you just take back everything that we've learned today. And of course, Mayur is also going to share all of these with the folks that have attended it. I'm going to wait on the screen for 2-3 minutes till the time. Feel free to ask any questions as well.
Yeah, I'm also sharing the YouTube channel link for Atlassian Community Surat, where we'll be uploading all the recordings there. So it will take one day for me to cut the things and upload. So yeah, you can check the channel name here. I'm also sharing the LinkedIn profiles of Diksha, mine, Shvam, and other. So you can also do connectors and shoot the question if you have anything.
This is Prakash. Thanks a lot for your quick walk-in, and I hope this session will really help to us.
Uh,
And
yeah, sorry, Prakash, can you come again?
I'm saying that this video is very helpful to us, and thanks Deeksha for walking us.
I'm happy to help. Okay, I am gonna stop sharing my screen now. Stop sharing. Okay, wow, I can see everyone now. Yeah, I think if there are any questions, do let me know. Yeah, I'll hand it over to you, Mayur.
But okay, let me share my screen again. I'll just make a quick announcement and then we'll move towards random Rafael. Yeah. So first of all, thanks Diksha, for taking your time and walk through us the tool Jira Service Management and the status pages and the how the internal external communication can be handled for the any services outage or anything, right? So that was a great session, I would say, and also thanks to all the users. I mean, the customers or users, because they asked a lot of questions and that gave us the lot of information, right, about the tool and everything. So thanks for that. So I'll just make a quick announcement. So we do have a next session plan on 13 March. That is again the a tool uh, like a Loom. So that is something a different a tool that is the recent acquisition of Atlassian did the last year, I believe. So we have like Sarah Macklin. She's the senior solution engineer, and she'll be talking about the how Loom can be used for improving the real productivity, right? And how can be integrated with the Jira, Confluence, and other Atlassian tools, and boost the productivity. So I'll just share my screen. Yeah, perfect. So you can see, please feel free to go to Atlassian Community Surat and subscribe to the, or maybe RSVP to this session as well. Okay, let me just go back and extract the list. I have the list. Copy.